It's hard to do homework in this place. Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Hester, and welcome back to another vlog. Yeah, it's another vlog. Okay, so in an update, I did get the whole thing sorted out with Amazon. The only downside is a bulk of the parts won't be arriving until tomorrow, Tuesday. This includes the solid state drive, the motherboard, cooling system, and CPU. Now, a lot of you have been saying you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to the computer lingo, and I do apologize, but there was a time where I didn't either. Basically, I'm self-taught, which is a bad thing, but hey, I know how to replace the thermal paste for my computer, at least. I know that's not saying much, but so yeah. So for those of you who are interested, though, sorry I can't edit in any pictures or doodah with the what do you call it, with the video, because like I said, my laptop is not rated for video editing. It's barely adequate to record the webcam, especially at 60 frames per second, but low frame rates even annoys me, so... But the specs of my new computer are... It's going to be an MSI Gaming Intel Skylake B1 blah 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 USB 3.1 AX or ATX motherboard. Check the description for the whole entire thing. And basically, from what I gathered from Stahlberg, it has two, and I'm even looking at it right now. It has two slots for graphics cards, and one of the graphics cards that I say one of, but right now it is going to be the only graphics card. I don't know if I need to really upgrade the card itself for YouTube, but as a precaution, that's why I'm going with pretty much a whole new setup. In that I have a motherboard that allows me to have two if I ever feel compelled to actually install a second one. I don't know, maybe to record in 2K, or even 4K if I'm really feeling ambitious, but I better upgrade to 64 gigs of memory and so yes, the graphics card is going to be the GTX 1070. 10 short of the 1080, but considering I say limited, but there it is. I say limited budget, but well, I pretty much pulled out the stops on that. Yay. But the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1070 Extreme gaming video card. Now, this part I have no idea what the hell it is, but essentially 8 gigabytes of memory, I think is what Stahlberg was saying. Basically, it's going... Again, I have no idea what the hell that even means, but it is virtual reality ready, even though... Yeah, I'm not ready for that, but it is, if I ever get to a point where... Okay, I'm gonna have to kill Stahlberg. Looking at the back, it only looks like one... What is that? One DVI port but a lot of HDMIs. And I'm sure I can get an adapter. Or I could always get that second... I'm going to have to go into TeamSpeak after doing this video. Ah, well. But... looking at a picture of this, it has 2 fans on it. So... it's going to be powerful. Don't tell me it's going to take up a lot of power, but the power supply, which I do have, is rated for 1 kilowatt. I'm not an electrician. I think per hour it uses a kilowatt. I think it's what it's saying. Again, don't quote me on that. There it is. Like I said, I think yesterday, I don't know, like I said, I say a lot of things. I'm in college. You guys have to give me timestamps when I say something funny for ease of editing, because, for those compilation funny videos, which I've had some time to actually watch some of my videos that I still need to pull off my hard drives. Well, I say hard drives, but most of them are on the 6 terabyte external hard drive here, the one here, and then the one over there. I have 8 terabytes right now for video storage because I keep everything just in case, like, something happens with YouTube, so it's just an easy re-upload and all that. Not that I really want to, but shit happens. Now I just need to back these all up, but I digress. The CPU is an I7-6700. Let me pull it up. Now, I bought this with the hydro cooler. Well, it's a Corsair H115i cooler. It's a dual fan, so hopefully it has better cooling power than... Well, I'm sure this one's probably dead, which is why, but like I said, next thing I know it, maybe it potentially leaks when I try to remove it, and then the whole thing just... But water-cooled systems and computers tend to be really robust, so the likelihood of that happening, it would be slim, but... yeah. Okay, the processor... well, essentially it's a quad-core with hyper-threading, meaning it has 4 processing cores and then 4 virtual. So technically it has 8, but I've heard like it only adds like 25% more power than having 2 cores, but I've only known one person who had 2 cores on his one computer, but the videos he was rendering were much more advanced than what I'm able to do or could do for YouTube. Like, his were not really movie style grade, but kind of like TV commercial grade stuff. He's a freelance editor. I think that's what he did. I don't know, but he had like a 6 core with hyper-threading, so very powerful. What else? I am going to have a 1 terabyte solid-state drive, which is going to be twice as much what I have in this, again, and a few you all remember the hard drive fiasco, where it amazes me how fast technology is advancing. This new hard drive that I'm getting is a terabyte, and it's the same price as the 500 gigabyte that I bought a while back. And it fits in the same goddamn little space. This... I'm gonna cry. Because a year from now, it's going to be a 2 terabyte hard drive for the same price, and then a 4, and then I don't know how small we can get, but I've heard a lot of theories where basically technology is going to peak unless we find a new material that surpasses silicone, or is it silicone? Whatever. Basically, well, I clearly still haven't remembered how to English correctly, but oof. Of course, when you consider your videos tend to get on the 10 gigabytes per file size before editing, editing tends to bring it down to, for Empire at War, it tends to be 2.5 gigs. The more labor-intensive recordings, like Men of War, Assault Squad 2, those videos would actually get into the 50 gigabytes before editing. And after editing, it would get down to maybe 10 to 20, depending on how much battle was going on in the background. So, yeah. You're welcome. So, yes, a good internet is kind of required, unless you do 480p videos. If you do 1080p in 60 frames per second, no, you need good internet. Or you only do one video a week. And then I'm going for a 4 terabyte standard drive just to store the videos momentarily until I move them off. But that's the funny thing. I think I'm going to put my Steam games on the standard drive. It's a... let me pull it up real quick. That, unfortunately, doesn't arrive until Wednesday, but really I don't need it all that much right away. Really, it's just the 1 terabyte, which is coming tomorrow, that I'm going to need. But it's a Seagate 4 terabyte gaming SSHD, which means it's a solid state hybrid drive, so it has a little redundancy, but still don't drop it from tall places, like, oh, I don't know, from the table you're working on onto, well, I doubt it's going to survive a carpet floor drop, but you never know. But it's 5 times faster than a standard hard drive, but not as fast as a solid state. And it has a 64 megabyte cache memory, so basically, if I minimize the game, it's still going to be able to allow for the... I don't know. I know Stahlberg was talking about, or maybe that was my processor. I don't know. Like I said, I'm learning. You're never too old to learn. If there's one thing that does irritate me about learning, when I mention how much crap that I know, like I'll mention general rough statistics, like the Yamato has 460 millimeter guns or 18.1 inch guns if you use the Imperial system, because I actually use both, or I'm trying to learn how to use both. Like I hear, oh, it's a kilo in weight. Okay, it's roughly 2.2 pounds. Okay, because I know, let's not start a philosophical debate, but you're never too old to learn. A lot of the times I hear the same old thing, like, oh, they didn't teach me that in school, when it's like, hello, Wikipedia, probably the best source that I've ever learned from. Except for accounting. In accounting, I'm actually sort of self-taught. RuneScape and don't get me started, but... yeah, right. The statistics. There they are. And like I said, it's going to be water cooled, but I am taking the RAM sticks out of this computer with me. They're the I have to look at my previous orders. Whoa. And before you do ask, I do actually have a Cool Gear right here. I have one of these fancy thingies, which actually lets me plug into hard drives. I even have the hard drive off of the old computer. Well, the first hard drive that I actually got that gave me all those problems a couple months ago, but get in there, damn it. There we go. So now if I had the other cables, run them into my laptop, I can actually transfer the files off of it. And this is a solid state drive. And it's still going to work. If I did that with the standard drive, I'd be screwed. So, just thought I'd let you guys know that. Really? Oh, this is the last 6 months. Hey, I bought the mustache in 2015. When did I get the... give me a minute. Are you barking mad? Ah, here they are. I have 4 8GB Corsair Vengeance Pros. And if ever I was going to upgrade the RAM sticks, I would go up to, 4 16GB, but before I continue on that train of thought, but all this is going to be in the Corsair Air 540 case. Now, I will have to admit, all said and done, this is roughly $2,100. Yes, I didn't want to do this, but like I said, I wanted to make sure that I actually had a good, decent computer for YouTubing. I know if I wasn't doing anything for YouTube, I would probably just would have replaced the cooling system and just have gotten over this little ordeal. I still would have upgraded the power supply, finding out that, hey, you only have barely minimum. Right. So the computer I have even now in its diminished state is still overpowering for gaming alone. I know 1070 graphics card, honestly, unless you're doing something like Space Engineers or I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but really 60 frames per second on any game is enough. If you're looking for more though, you're either a pro gamer or you have very sensitive eyes. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that, because yeah. But for a gaming or for a YouTube PC, I've heard this is pretty much average. And mind you, this is because I'm an Amazon Prime member. A lot of the parts that I've been getting included about $150 off. Like the, it's going to show me. Like the solid state drive. This normally goes for $499.90. Well, okay, $500. Because I am a Prime member though, I'm only paying $306.07. That really only matters in the grand scheme of things, because you'd be surprised how much it matters in accounting. But basically, I'm saving $193.92. This is going to pay for my subscription to Amazon Prime for the next 2.5 years, essentially, at $75, or I don't know, I should probably look into that. I don't know if it's changed or not. I know my bank statements don't change that, but I need to be sure. So, plus I'm not replacing the old RAM sticks. At least right now, like I said, 32 gigs is plenty. And let me pull up the motherboard. It's rated for, where is it? For 64 gigs. I know my information systems instructor actually had his computer at 128 gigs, and that was just his laptop. But he also taught electronic warfare, which is basically how it sounds. Basically, you try to hack into each other's computer. It's actually interesting. He was talking about the architecture of basically the shell, where it's like a solid meter thick of lead, concrete, and a bunch of other materials that prevents signals from getting in. And there's only one point of entry, the node, that actually connects them all to the internet. And so it's actually traced, and oh, it's scary what he could do. But it's actually funny. He actually showed us a lot of the things that comprise... Anyway, if you're interested, I'll probably spew it in a different video. But these, the Corsair, if I was to get 4 of these, it would cost over $150. And then the audio card, that's transferring over too, because as Stahlberg pointed out, my videos have sounded alright, but I don't know, you guys, let me know in the comments if there's ways I can improve. Granted, don't be too surprised if I don't do it immediately, because no, I still haven't told my dad, which is going to be pretty awkward when a bulk of these parts come tomorrow and he sees this giant new computer just sitting on top where that one used to be. But yeah, so if you do plan to do YouTubing, I have to say you either need a good job outside of YouTube, or I can't really justify myself doing it, other than the fact that when I do read the comments, like I said, the only reason I'm doing this basically getting a new system, new setup, is because the comments that I get that say, you know what, I'm going to pull up the most recent, because it actually happened yesterday. And before you guys ask, I probably should have put it in the beginning of this video, but I'm other crap. I do plan to continue the Phoenix Rising campaign as the Rebels. However, I learned my lesson from the last time, trying to transfer a save file to a new computer. I will start a new one. I don't know whether to... I don't know, you guys talk amongst yourselves, because I really don't want to end it on part, 10? But at the same time, I don't want to start over from the very beginning unless you guys want to. Okay, good to know, Darth Luke, you're a computer science major. People put ice packs in computers because they dumb. Don't do it. Good to know. Where is it? There is it. I do plan to play EA Battlefront, especially the new DLC, because Death Star Trench Run. I want to play as the Empire. I want to stop that. Oh, great. One of you wants Terror Tuesdays back. Oh, where is it? Ah, here it is. By Grell Schutzcliffe. Probably just butchered your name. You make me laugh every single time you make me quirk. I love it. So, yeah, it's comments like that, and I'm getting those more, which is, why is that? Oh, good. There's 1,579 of you, and I don't have a computer that actually doesn't run off of a potato. I don't have a recording system that doesn't run off of a potato. Laptop, potato. So it's just something to consider. If you guys do plan to do YouTube, you either need to have a lot of money saved up, a good job, or you have to be committed enough to actually try to pursue it. And honestly, at this point, I would love to make YouTube like my career. And if there ever becomes a point when I do retire, like when I get old, and like 30. No, Mom, I'm not calling you old out loud. No, please, my dad's 53, except he's only starting to get the gray hair, so I'm gonna age very beautifully. Okay, I can't twerk my eyebrows like that. But so yeah, just something to take into consideration. And recording on a store-bought ready-made computer, no. No. You can get a better rig for what you'd pay for if you just bought the parts yourself, and maybe if you knew a friend who could piece it all together. This will be the first computer that I build wholly by myself with maybe some assistance, but when I had this one originally built 2.5 years ago, and this was for YouTube actually, because the first video I ever did was on the Space Engineers TIE Fighter. It's just that I've since deleted that video because I, A, made a better TIE Fighter, and B, I actually wasn't as nervous. I'm still trying to look for that video, and if I ever do find it, that'll be an instant upload just to show you guys how nervous I was. It was in May of 2014, if I remember correctly. And now I really don't care if what you just saw there, if I mess up and go, bleh, start over. English, please. So that's just something, again, to take into consideration. But when I had this built, it was done for me. The computer before was a graduation gift. I use the air quotes because I still had to pay for half of it. Yes, I know, but it only had 4 gigs of RAM on 2 of the flimsiest memory sticks I've ever seen. Basically, it was barely adequate to run World of Tanks. And this was when World of Tanks came out. Before that, again, it was a store-bought, but from the early 2000s. And then the one before that was from the 90s. I've kept every computer since my first computer. Technically, it wasn't mine, as in mine, so much as I was the primary user. How I managed to get a hold of all of them, though, ask my mom, because I don't know. And no, I'm not giving you her number, because I'm pretty sure, well, she says I never call her enough, so if all you guys start calling her, she's going to tell me to never call again, because she's fed up with actually talking to people. Yay! Wait a minute. That's a good strategy. Okay, her number, never mind. I can't. Oh, I would continue that train of thought, but I can't do gunshots right now, so we'll be back to normal Wednesday night at the earliest, but I need to talk to Jakaya if I'm able to put the graphics card that I have now, like replace it with the 1070 when it comes in Wednesday, without any too much issues. The only thing is I don't have the CD for that. Of course, I could always go to, I don't know, a computer store and just buy the second 1070. Except that's another $400. Oh, God. Or I have a spare. I know I'm laughing at that, but Jesus, I'm in school. I think I ate up half of my savings for this, so you're welcome. But I've been ranting for long enough, so I just wanted to actually do a long-winded video for you guys just to say, hey, I'm still alive, and I'm still uploading every day, even on the holidays. I don't have intentions to stop, because, like I said, it's those comments where it's just worth actually getting up, throwing about $2,100 at a computer. But basically, I think this will be the last computer that I actually will, like, wholesale buy the parts at the same time. From now on, I think I'm just going to actually upgrade that current system, so unless, of course, I get a new motherboard and I need totally new parts. That being the extreme exception. So, with that... Although, I will say, having all this time to myself, I've actually contemplating doing that lore channel that you guys said that you would be interested in if I did, and I will say it is scripted because you can't really deviate from the script all that much like I do. Like, my train of thought goes from warships to what the hell is going on in the world? Like, sorry, that was my alarm clock to wake up from a nap. I woke up early and decided I want to do a video. Anyway, so, like, I have 4 done, and geez, the amount of research you have to actually do to make sure you're, A, honest, and B, you're not twisting the story to suit you. It's like, yes, with Star Wars, I've read all the books, because apparently I couldn't read my non-fiction books in a lot of my English classes, which was complete BS because they used bigger words than some story with a plot line. Ugh. So I had to read all the Star Wars books repeatedly. And so it's just one of those things. Like, one of the completed ones that I have is the 3rd Death Star in Legends. Yes, there was a thing. And no, it was not called Starkiller Base. But I mean, like, I have a few scripts going on right now for Dead Space, Star Wars, Halo, Gears of War. I mean, so I guess if you guys want, I don't know if I'll actually do it, but it gives me something to do to pass the time to actually learn stuff, especially with Gears of War coming out on the 11th, which is a weird time. Yeah, it comes out on a Tuesday? Well, I could see a lot of people calling in sick on that day. But I digress. But I am getting that one for the PC because I know some of you want me to do Xbox games. Let me remind you, this is the thing that was the reason why I had to replace this. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Elegdo capture card is very good, but it destroyed my recording software for my PC, which is why I had to do the swap. If I was to do this again, I think I would put them on separate hard drives, but even then, I don't know. I think that'll be something that I buy hard drives on the side just to be safe because of what happened. But I digress. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, down below in the description, not the comments, will be the specs of my new PC. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, sure, now I do it correctly. And once again, I pressed the wrong stupid thing. Bye-bye.